Welcome to Harvest Kids!
Hey Mike, can you tell us a little bit about your testimony?
Sure! Well, I grew up in Southern California, and I always liked peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, and I rode bicycles around my neighborhood and skateboards, and it was great.
Do you know what a testimony is, Mike?
Yeah, how I grew up.
No! A testimony is about how you tell about the way that you came to know Jesus.
Oh, so it's not about what your favorite things are?
No!
Oh, okay. Oh, I get it. That's awesome.
So now tell us a little bit about your testimony.
Oh, okay. Well, I used to go to church as a kid. I still do too. But when I was 6 years old, one Sunday night, I kneeled at my bed and asked Jesus into my heart because at that Sunday morning, I heard about Jesus and how he died on the cross for me. So that was my testimony. My mom was with me and it was really special.
Aw, that's so cool. Well, hey, guess what? We wanted to hear how some of our kids and HK volunteers came to know Jesus. We wanted to hear their testimony, so we interviewed them.
Cool.
Do you want to hear it?
Yeah.
Me too. Let's watch now. Hey kids, I'm here with my friend, Sophie. And Miss Sophie, I want to ask you a question. How old were you when you accepted Jesus into your heart?
I was 16 years old.
Oh, cool. And one other question. In a few words, tell us how God has changed your life.
He has changed my life because now I'm just so much more joyful and I get to see all the good that the Lord has done in my life. And it changes how I see the world.
That is so cool. You know, I know Sophie really well and she is very joyful because of Jesus. So thanks, Sophie.
Thank you.
All right, friends, I'm here with my friend Lenny. And Lenny, can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Okay, I wanted to ask you, how old were you when you accepted Jesus into your heart?
I was 6 years old.
Oh, that's awesome. And one other question, real quick, in just a couple of words, can you tell me how God has changed your life?
He took the sins away from me.
Oh, that's so cool. Thank you so much, Lenny. Hi, friends. I'm here with my friend, Miss Jessie. She's one of our awesome leaders in the bridge. And Jessie, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. How old were you when you trusted Jesus?
I first accepted Jesus when I was 5 years old. When I was about 17 in high school, I really understood what it meant to be a Christian. I've been in love with Jesus ever since.
That's such a cool story, Jessie. And just in a few short words, if you can, just share with the kids how God has changed your life.
Oh man, I wouldn't be who I am today without him. I trust in him for everything. Even though it's a little bit hard sometimes, I couldn't imagine I'd be where I am today without the Lord.
That is so cool. Well, thank you, Miss Jessie. We really appreciate you. All right, friends, I'm here with my good friend, Miss Nellie. And Nellie, can I ask you a question?
Yes.
Okay, my question for you is, how old were you when you trusted Jesus as your Lord and Savior?
I was 9 years old.
Oh, awesome. And Nellie, also, can you tell the kids in a few short words how trusting Jesus has changed your life?
I have trusted him through many hard times, and also I have seen his great faithfulness over and over again.
Aw, that's so cool. Thank you for sharing, Nellie.
Okay, I'm here with Esther. Esther, when did you put your trust in Jesus as your Lord and Savior?
When I was 4.
Okay, and how has Jesus changed your life?
By telling me what's right from wrong.
By telling you what's right from wrong. All right, we can find that in his word. Well, thank you so much, Miss Esther. Okay, I'm here with Jude, and I have a question for you, Jude. When did you put your trust in Jesus as your Lord and Savior?
When I was 4,
Okay, and how has Jesus changed your life?
I can always put my trust in him.
Oh, awesome. Great. Wow, I really liked those questions and those answers from those kids. You know what? Your testimony is a powerful tool. Just like Paul's was, ours can be too.
Yes, that's right. Paul shared his testimony about how Jesus had changed his life and wanted to offer that message to all people. So he just kept sharing his testimony and the gospel with everyone, no matter what he faced. And we're going to learn all about that today as we read our Bible story.
Ooh.
Play a super fun game. We're gonna make a delicious snack. And right now, we are gonna stand up because it's time for worship.
Yeah.
So everybody stand up to your feet and let's get ready to praise God now.
He opens the
door, he opens the door, he opens the door. What for? He opens it up, he kicks it open wide, and he gives me the key to everlasting life. I used to be stuck in this jail cell, stuck in sin, stuck till now. But then I found Jesus, and he is the key to open up the door to my eternity. He opens the door, he opens the door, he opens the door. What for? He opens it up, he kicks it open wide, and he gives me the key to everlasting life. Now I have freedom, now I'm free. Now he has a future and a plan for me. Sometimes I still mess up, sometimes I'm still rude, but then I just remember that forgiveness, dude. He opens the door, he opens the door, he opens the door. What for? He opens it up, he kicks it open wide, and he gives me the key to everlasting life. If I feel scared, if I feel alone, where's everybody? If I feel like I can't make it on my own, remember Jesus died and he rose after 3. He did it for his love for you and me. He opened the door, he opened the door, he opened the door. What for? He opens it up, he kicks it open wide, and he gives me the key to everlasting life. Hey everyone, welcome to our Focus Up moment today. This is where we change it up a little bit and focus on one attribute of God. And today we're going to be singing a song, and I will say that I wrote this song, and it's about David and how God looks at the heart. So David was the youngest of his brothers, and you wouldn't think that he would be king, but God saw his heart, and he had a heart for the Lord. So he was chosen to be king. And so this song that we're going to sing, it's very simple. The chorus goes like this. It says, up and down, left and then right. People look at the outside, but God looks at the heart. Up and down, left and then right. So it's all over society. People look at the outside, up and down, left and right. What do you look like? How much stuff do you have? But it's true that God looks at the quality of your heart, your feelings, your actions, your thoughts. And we want to be honoring the Lord in all of those things. And so I'll sing this once, and then you can join with me, and we will take this as an act of worship. Here we go. Up and down, left and then right. Up and down, left and then right. People look on the outside, God looks at the heart. Up and down, left and then right. Up and down, left and then right. Okay, I'm gonna sing it again. Up and down, left and then right. Up and down, left and then right. People look on the outside, God looks at the heart. Up and down, left and then right. Up and down, left and then right. Just a simple song to get us focused, knowing that God looks at our hearts. And so we want to honor and glorify him in everything we say, do, and think. So thanks for joining me in today's Focus Up moment. Hey boys and girls, are you ready for a game today? It's called Dance Off. Yeah! By a show of hands, do you like to dance? I sure do. I like to dance. Well, dance along with Mr. Isaac as we go through this. First dance off now. was a lot of fun. Are you guys tired? Anyone tired? No way. Let's keep dancing. So here comes another dance off. Follow along with Mr. Isaac right now. A fun dance off. You guys did great. Thanks for joining me in today's game, the dance off. We'll see you next time. Bye. Bye. Hey boys and girls, welcome to Unboxing the Bible. This is where we open up this box containing a word from God's Word, and it's really exciting because it's, after all, God's Word. Let's get to it. Today's word is F-A-I-T-H. Faith. Today's word comes from the Bible verse Acts 26:18, which says, "They will receive forgiveness for their sins and be given a place among God's people who are set apart by faith in me." Now, repeat this with me. Acts 26:18. They will receive forgiveness for their sins and be given a place among God's people who are set apart by faith in me. All right, well, thank you so much for unboxing the Bible with me today. Up next is our Bible lesson for today, so pay attention. Bye.
Hey friends, welcome to today's Bible story. We are in Acts chapter 24, and we are continuing on in Paul's crazy journey of sharing the gospel with the world and all of the obstacles that he has faced. We have learned that Paul has traveled far and wide, and right now he's in Caesarea in our story where we pick up today, and he had just narrowly escaped death in Jerusalem, but the Roman soldiers got him out, and now he's safe for now, but he has to appear before Felix, the governor. So what was going on is, obviously people did not like Paul's message, specifically the Jewish leaders. They were accusing Paul of having false teachings and saying things about God that weren't true because they did not agree about what he was saying about Jesus being the Savior. So he had to appear before Felix and before these Jewish high leaders and hear all of these accusations against him. And Felix heard what Paul had to say. Paul talked about the gospel and how Jesus is our way to salvation, and he was talking about the final judgment coming one day, and Felix got a little bit scared, and he didn't really know what to do, so he just kept Paul in prison for the next 2 years. But he called for him often, wanting to hear a little bit more. Well, of course, Paul would always just keep preaching the gospel, right? Well, Felix was not the governor anymore after 2 years, and another guy called Festus came into office and was now the governor, and Paul had to appear in front of Festus. And now in chapter 25 and 26, we see Paul talking to Festus. Now, I want you guys to understand something. There's so many details in here, even it's hard for me to follow all the time, but I want you to think of something. These were governors. These were people in high position. Isn't it cool that God put Paul in a position that he could share the good news with somebody who was so high up in power and who had influence over others? God wanted these kings and rulers to hear about him. And Paul did the work that God sent him out to do. Paul trusted God. It wouldn't always be easy to have to keep saying the same thing over and over again and people to tell you, no, you're wrong. That's difficult. But Paul kept doing it because he knew that he was doing the right thing. So it wasn't hard for Paul because he knew that God had called him to share the gospel. And here he was getting these opportunities to share the gospel with kings and rulers. So Paul got to talk to Felix and Festus, the governors. But then guess what? He also got to talk to a king. He got to talk to King Agrippa. And we see in Acts chapter 26 that Paul actually got to share his testimony, meaning his story of how Jesus changed his life. All these Jewish leaders were making accusations against Paul, and Paul was able to say, hey, I was trained just like these Jewish men. I was taught in all the scriptures and laws of God. And I, in fact, was persecuting Christians until I was on the road to Damascus where Jesus met me. And my whole life changed. And they were able to hear the story of Paul's testimony. Now, at the end of all of this, it's not resolved at the end of our lesson today, but they did say, we don't see that this man has done anything wrong. They did call him crazy, but they said, we can't see where he's done anything wrong. All of these accusations made against him, there was no proof, and they really had nothing to hold against him. And you know, it makes me think, all of us have our story about how Jesus has changed our heart. That's called our testimony that we should share and tell to others. And even though not everybody likes to hear the gospel, some people want to cover their ears or run away because they know it means they have to make a change in their life. Nobody can argue with the change that has happened inside of us. Nobody can tell us that we're wrong or crazy when we share our story about our change because we know that it's true. I personally know that God has changed me. I once was walking in this direction, wandering mindlessly, doing what I wanted. And then I heard the gospel and believed, and I turned this way. I wanted to believe in Jesus and do the things that he has called me to do, and it completely changed my life. And you guys have a story to tell also. Sometimes our testimony is this big dramatic story, and other times it's simple and sweet. But it's always true because we know that God has come into our hearts and changed who we are so that instead of living for ourselves and the things we want, we live for God and the things he wants to do. That's what Paul did. I don't know that if Paul was living for himself, that he would choose to be imprisoned and choose to face all these hard obstacles, but he did it, and he did it with joy because he knew that he was following God's plan and he trusted him. And we can trust God too. So I hope this story encourages you to share your story with someone. You can even practice telling your testimony to your mom and dad, or to your sibling, or to your friend. That way, one day when someone asks you, hey, what makes you so different? Why do you believe in Jesus? You can share with confidence the story that Jesus has written in your life. All right, well, I can't wait to see you guys next time. We have to find out what happens with Paul. I'll see you later. Bye. Hey friends, Jackie here, and welcome to Snacky Time. I have a super quick and very delicious, refreshing snack for us to make today. And all you need are 2 ingredients. We have raspberries, which we need because they have this perfect little cone shape to fill. And then to fill it, we're gonna use vanilla bean yogurt. Now this is where you can change it up. If you prefer lemon yogurt or raspberry yogurt or strawberry yogurt or chocolate yogurt, is that a thing? You could fill that inside, or even whipped cream. But we're gonna use our yummy vanilla bean yogurt. And we're gonna put it in a Ziploc bag. So we're gonna use it kind of like a pastry bag, but we don't have to go out and buy a fancy bag. We can just make this at home. So I'm gonna take my spoon, and we don't need a lot because raspberries don't have a big space in the middle, just a cute little space. So I'm gonna do about that much, and we're gonna look for raspberries with a wider opening like that. And I'm gonna snip off the end, but not too wide. We want it to be kind of narrow so it'll fit in the raspberry. And then you can test it out if you want. Boop. Perfect. Okay, so we're gonna take the raspberry, put the tip of the pastry bag into the raspberry and squeeze a little bit. Ta-da! Let's make some more. You can make the whole pint of raspberries filled with yogurt if you want, and then stick them in the freezer and then enjoy them like little frozen yogurt raspberry drops. What? That looks so good. That is so good. Well, I hope you enjoyed making this very fast snack today. It's yummy and healthy and refreshing, and it's just fun to eat. So if you make this, take a picture, tag us at Harvest Kids Live, and we'll see you next time. Bye.
Well, thanks for joining us today. We had a lot of fun learning with you.
That is right. And remember, Paul wanted all people to know and hear the gospel. That's what God has called us to do. And one way that we can share the gospel is by sharing our testimony, the life-changing change that has happened in our lives because of Jesus. Paul wanted to share the gospel no matter what, and we can and should do the same.
Aw, well, what a great time together. We'll see you next time, but if you'd like to see more services, you can check us out on Instagram and YouTube at Harvest Kids Live, and we can't wait to see you in the next one. Bye-bye for now.
Bye.